Hi, and welcome to Book Impressions. In this episode, I will give you my impression of the book, The One You Feed, by author James Drummond. And it's a Shadow Tales Book 1. So again, you can see we're dealing with a series. There are 4 books in the Shadow Tales. Let's look at this cover. It's interesting. The font is kind of creepy in its own right. You can see how it says The One You Feed, and it's kind of a creepy look about it. It's coming from his flashlight, and there's obviously a guy and a girl in this, so I wonder if it's a young adult. Let's find out. There are 393 pages, so it's a pretty good sized book. It's in English. Oh, it was published a while ago. It was published on November 29th of 2013. And it's for readers of 15 years to 18 years, so it's a young adult. And let's see, they say grades 8 through 12 are probably ideal readers for this book. I don't really have any bad thoughts about the cover. I don't know if it really pops out at you. I don't feel like his name is centered on this book. I feel a little more gappy over here. But I think it could probably pop off the Amazon shelf. I have no feeling one way or the other about this book. I don't know if I saw it on the Amazon shelf, whether it'd make me stop. But it's okay, it's decent. But let's look at the blurb. Okay, the blurb says, a traumatized teen is shocked when he discovers lycanthropes might be running loose in his hometown. I'm not sure what that is. What's worse, one of them may be his best friend. Toby dedicates himself to solving who or what is behind a series of brutal attacks, only to have his resilience tested time and again. Twists and turns abound in the supernatural action-adventure tale. Okay, it says author James Drummond brings his strong character creations and folktale interpretation to the first book of the Shadow Tales series, The One You Feed. Windy City Reviews said that. Okay, well, interesting already. Alright, so let's look at his reviews. He only has 58 total reviews. He's been published a long time, so his reviews have probably been really slow. But let's find out. He's got a good full 5-star thing. He's got 4.3 out of 5, so the book is highly acclaimed by those 58. Okay, it says 5-star 51%, 4-star 36%, 3-star 10%, 2 stars 4%, and 1 stars have 0%. So hey, looks good on the 5 and 4 star. So the people who are reading it liked it more than the people who didn't. Okay, so let's look at some of the headlines under the 5 stars. Okay. A shine over the conventional werewolf tales. Surprising thriller. A teenage horror story for all mature ages. So this person says, if you're over that age she's saying, you might still enjoy it. Super nice book. Absolutely love this book. An amazing read. A frightening, compelling story. Great escape. Entertaining read. Great novel. Okay, well, he may not have a lot of readership in this as far as his reviews go, but the people who did read it find it to be quite the gem of a read. You know, there are a lot of authors that still have yet to be discovered, and he might be one of those people. So 4 stars, easy, absorbing, and fun read. Strong teen lead, so there's a lead of a strong character. An engaging tale, a very visual story, must have great description. Great fantasy story, successful young adult story. A good many twists and turns. So if you like a book with lots of twists and turns, they're saying it's in this book. An easy read. The One You Feed. If blood and guts entertains you, read this book. Okay. Let's look at our 3 stars. This is where you usually find some constructive criticism. It says depressing, just depressing. I just said the one you feed. A fun horror novel. Definitely, I guess, an interesting read. Okay, definitely an interesting read. All right. So they weren't too bad. Let's look at our 2 stars. These are usually people aren't sure. It's not my cup of tea. Okay, usually you find out as a 1 star, but they're willing to admit, well, it's not, it probably wasn't the right genre for them. Usually find that under 1 star, but they gave it 2 stars. So the book must be somewhat good to them, or they're thinking that. Let's look at James Drummond autobiography, and let's also see if he's got these other books out. Since I understand there are a total of 4 books in this Shadow Tales series. Okay, this must be a picture of James Drummond. And just the book we were looking at. And there are 3 other books, so I have to assume these 3 are a part of this series. So he does have all 4 books out there. So if you choose to look at this one, and it is $2.99, all the other ones are too. This one here is free, so I don't know if it's a part of this book series. It doesn't really say book 1, book 2, book 3, unless you go into each book. You might find out that maybe the last book is free. I don't know if this goes with it. It kind of looks like it does. He does have a blog, so maybe you can learn some things there. Okay, let's look at his autobiography. About James Drummond. James Drummond is the author of chilling supernatural action adventure. A lifelong fan of scary stories and heroes' journeys, he put his own spin on familiar folklore with his Shadow Tales series. He lives in Chicago with his wife Angela and 2 former shelter cats named Snowball and Suzette. In between early morning and late night writing sessions, he works as a senior instructional designer at an e-learning development company where he often employs storytelling techniques to convey new concepts to different learning audiences. You can visit him at http://www.jamesdrummondwrites.com to learn more about James and his 4 books. One day to be 7-book series. Well, obviously he's gone from the 4 books and he's thinking about adding to it. Sometimes that happens with a writer. They'll think, oh, I'm only going to put 3 books, and then they discover they need a few more. He's thinking about 7, so if you've been reading this series or you're thinking about it, you might want to think about that fact that he's thinking about adding to it. Anyway, I will link this book in the description below. And if you like content like this and you want to continue hearing content like this, I hope you will consider subscribing to this channel. And with all that in mind, this is Book Impressions. Until next time, signing off.